All right, internet is starting to get a little funky there. Let's get this show on the road, guys. What is up? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time since I have been back here, so I am apologize for that, guys. It has been crazy busy. I have been in the, well, last week I was in the simulator for 3 days, and then I was flying for the remaining 3 days, well, yeah, 2 days and then another day. So it has just been absolute madness. And then I wanted to get this stream earlier today, but something came up. My dog is just not doing well, so T's and P's for Mr. Stan. We're going to try to figure out what's going on with him. Hopefully he'll be all right here. I don't know if I wanted to do a two-legger, go to John Wayne and back. I'm probably going to say San Diego about 50 times on this flight because SNA, SAN. But anyway, where are we at, guys? Let's get us on the road. Navy Lance Sub, what's going up, man? At J20, Aaron, Cade Foster, Tom Pasco, Slam Cannon, Dougal McTavish. Good to see you here, bud. Sergey, what is going on, man? Good to see you. Back in FS 2020, when I scroll my chat box, it scrolls the sim. So, guys, you might also notice we got a fancy little new overlay up there. This is kind of a trial run. I'm not exactly sure if I'm set on it, so we're just going to test that one out. But it's just a different type of overlay. So let's see here. What is going on with my view selector? Is not going to switch to outside. Interesting. Okay, we need to fix that. There we go. So Las Vegas, I need to get a payware because it does not look like this at all. So I'm staying on this view right here. But yes, guys, so we are going to go to John Wayne, Orange County Airport. Very short runway, noise abatement departures. So we got a lot to get going. Let's get into the cockpit and let's just get to it right now, guys. I've got the airplane powered up. We are on VATSIM. We do have our sim brief already preloaded. We are operating this flight as Spiritual Wangs 1013, NKS 1013. I loaded the flight plan already, so it is in there. It's a very easy flight plan to load. Matter of fact, we're just going to have to load the departure and arrival. It's just a waypoint or two. So John Wayne, if you're unfamiliar, SNA, it is a very short runway. I think it's advertised at like 5,000 something feet, but if you follow the glide slope down, the remaining landing distance is actually less than 4,700 feet. It's right around that 4,700 foot mark. So it is a no joke, must pay attention airport to go into. So that is why we're going to fly over there today. And then when you depart, if we do get to the departure, the noise abatement procedure is pretty insane. It's actually a lot of fun to fly in real life. So we're going to do that here in the sim. And hopefully I'll be able to show you that tonight. We'll see, though. No promises for the return leg. I really am going to try to do the return leg. I just want to get this airplane boarded up and ready to go. So let's see here. I loaded the flight plan. Now I needed to do one more thing here down in the ATC page here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Data. Nope. McDo. There we go. ATSU and AOC menu here. We've done our initialization. We need to load fuel. Trip fuel 4.1. Oh, yeah, block fuel 9.7. Yep, we're going to go ahead and load that. They've released, there's some airlines that actually have a minimum block fuel for the Airbus around 10,000 pounds, depending on the variant. So since we're in a Neo, though, under 9,700 pounds, that looks about right. So that is loaded, and we'll arrow right, and we're also going to load the payload. We've got 148 passengers, so we got a pretty nice load of passengers going with us to John Wayne, Orange County Airport. Have I updated to where the printer works? Yes, I have it. I was just about to show you guys that right now. So whoever decided to manipulate this, I actually have to figure out. So what's interesting is now that I'm back at work, all my buttons are off here. So the AOC menu, this is pretty standard, but the AOC menu in general can be customized per airline depending on what functions you have or not. And it's seeing, now that I'm back at work and actually in the box 24/7, well, not 24/7, but a lot, I'm looking at this box and saying, okay, wait, it's not here, it's on this one, it's on this one. Like in the FS Labs, received messages is down here. This looks good for what I'm used to, but here we go. We're going to load up KLAS, and we're going to go departure. But what I was going to say about this, whoever has figured out how to model this printer and move it over here it's unreal. The fly-by-wire guys just never cease to amaze me with their progress that they're making here. Let's go and get our flight directors on because we are already aligned. We'll get the constraint mode on, and we're just waiting for that message to come through there. We'll go ahead and continue with the rest of our flow. Let's go up to the overhead. We already have our fuel on, so let's go ahead and get our fuel tank pumps on. We're going to get the APU, and of course we're going to listen to that. On, auto, arm those, cruise supply on, ground control, in-op. So let's see here. We have our company message. Let's go here, received messages, ATIS. Look at this. This is so cool. So we can read it here. So Las Vegas 07010, 6 overcast, 2999, 19. Awesome. We'll take one on our left out of here. It'll be easier. V1 or Hotshot says V1. His name is Tyler from the Fly-by-Wire core dev team. He comes up with something magical every other day. Hotshot, this is for real. So he is definitely coming up with magical stuff here. So check this out. I'm actually going to do it from this view so we can watch it go down. So I'm going to go ahead and hit print, and out comes the paper. I mean, that even looks real. It even comes out that way. And then you can collect the paper and stick it right here. Now this is where you're going to start getting, you know, really particular captains where they like their papers or like to hang their paper. Some guys like it up here, some guys like it right here. I personally hate putting the paper right here because it blocks the information on that lower ECAM. But this is a pretty common spot to put a lot of your paperwork. Only thing is, it's pretty hard. It's so realistic. It's kind of hard to read it. So I wish I could zoom it up, or if you could make the font bigger. That would be my only suggestion. Is this looks so realistic that I can't quite read it. I mean, I can read it if I go really slow, but I think you guys probably can't even see that. But anyway, that is just a really neat little feature to see there. Let's go ahead and set 2999, and then we're going to go ahead and start the APU and go outside. Navy Land says the fly-by-wire team is amazing. Yeah, they are, man. This airplane, it's crazy. So, like, I'm doing that little mini-series for FS 2020, and every time I get a video ready to go, there's a major update coming out. So that's why I've got the major stuff that I wanted out there, but as the airplane starts to get into its later updates, I'm kind of hesitant to do the arrival. I might just skip and do some landing videos, and then we'll do some more en route stuff as the airplane progresses and becomes more and more advanced in that little mini-series. Hotshot says the thing about the readability is being worked on right now. The text will be darker and stuff will be fixed soon. Awesome, dude. Flight Simmer says we can't make the font bigger because then the text overflows. Oh, I gotcha. So it's yeah, if it were just darker, though, I think that would be perfect. Just a little bit darker. Wouldn't more readability be non-immersive? Mark, that's actually kind of true, but in real life, you know, I pick that paper up and I hold it, you know, I have 20/20 vision non-corrected, so I don't have to wear glasses or anything. But I still hold that paper pretty close to my face when I'm reading it in the real airplane. Since we can't do that in the sim, man, listen to these APU sounds. Even though we can't do that in the sim, I think just a little bit darker ink there would be good to go. Anthony Villa, what's up, man? He says, what's up, V1? New to the channel and new to the flight simulator stuff. You have some great content. I'm definitely learning a lot from your vids. Keep it up. Anthony, thanks a lot, man. Cheers to you. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, or this evening anyway, for me. It might be late evening for some of you guys over there in Europe. Possibly early morning, but that's awesome, man. Glad you're enjoying the content. Hope you stick around, my friend. Plenty more to come. It's just I've been really busy as I got back to work, and I got all kinds of stuff going on. There's not enough hours in the day. I'm going to get the dome light on right now while we're sitting at the gate. So APU is on. We'll go APU bleed. We'll turn off the external power. Last thing we want to do here is kind of finish up our flight plan here. So we're going to go Las Vegas. We're going to depart 19er left on the Boach 8 departure. And what was our flight plan? Boach 8 to WIG. Does that sound right? Yep, WIG. Insert that. And then SNA, we are going to join the ILS 20 right and the Disney 4. This is a popular via Snake. Is that what we got? I want to do Fila, but let's see here. There it is, Fila. ILS 20 right. Let's see, we'll insert that. Let's see how that looks. Snake coach. Oh, there's Fila, snake, hook 'em all the way down. So that looks good. All right, our flight plan is in there. We're not going to do our secondary RadNav. I am going to hard tune Las Vegas VOR as we depart out of here, 16.9. Init B, we need to get our zero fuel weights in there and our block fuel, which according to our ECAM, we've got 9.5. 9.5. We'll throw that in there. Golden State says, I love the new stream overlay. Awesome. I'm glad you like it. I just, I'm doing a little testing. We'll see. It's powered by, it tells you who it's from. Live Flight or whatever. Fly Live, I think. So I'm going to rewatch the stream, kind of see how I like it, if I want to position it or whatnot. And then it may become the new official stream overlay. But I just want to see how, a little testing first. All right, now our 10 minutes extra gas. That looks good. For the init B progress page and perf, let's go ahead and do a flaps 1. Toga and transition altitude is 18 thou. And let's load our speeds, 127, 128, 132. That looks good to me. I think we are just about ready to go. Top altitude is, we're going all the way up. Since nobody's on right now, we filed 30 as our top altitude, I believe, right? Actually, we fly out 340, but we're going to do 30. 34 is a little bit high, but everything else looks good. I think we're just about ready to push back and get out of here. What do you guys say? Let's go ahead and turn the beacon light on. And let's request a pushback from this. I still got to get the pushback helper, I believe.
Las Vegas ground AM flight November Kilo Sierra 101 tree requesting
still
pushback.
AM flight.
AM flight November Kilo Sierra 101 tree pushback.
Another engine fail. No, thank you. No, thank you. Ironically enough, that engine fail, that shutdown that we did on the stream, man, it really helped with the simulator work, hitting back in the simulator. I'll talk to you guys about that once we take off. Go over a little bit of what I did in the sim. Got to do some emergencies. Got to do some crazy stuff during upset recovery training. So it was pretty neat, man. I always enjoy that EET, we call it EET training, or enhanced envelope training, where they put you in a really bad spot and get you recovered. So how close is this to the TOLAS currently? Pilot Boy, I can't even give you an official answer right now, just because I haven't flown this airplane in so long. Let me get, I'll get back to you in a little bit. It's getting there for sure, though. I'll tell you what, man. As far as day-to-day stuff, we should probably, what's our transponder? We'll go on and auto for VATSIM purposes, and we're going to squawk 2,000 for VATSIM purposes. Let me get a few flights under my belt in this new mod, Pilot Boy, and then I'll get back to you on that. I tell you what, though, it is coming along very, very, very well. I mean, I normally don't do any betas when I stream or development versions, but the fly-by-wire 320, even in dev mode, does seem to be pretty stable, knock on wood. Jeremy Harvey, what's up, man? Just finished the new music. I'm getting ready to send it over. Jeremy, that's awesome, man. Can't wait to take a listen to it. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Richard Reed, he says, I saw Sim Pilot test this mod, and he says that it's great. Awesome. Yeah, dude, the mod is definitely great. I mean, when you think where this airplane came, or where this airplane started, that's where I always circle back to, is if you
Las Vegas ground
got into the
flight
320 default when FS20 first released,
the end of pushback.
You were disappointed. No doubt, there was no doubt about it.
Flight November Kilo Sierra 101
But now, I actually enjoy, I'm beginning to thoroughly enjoy flying in this new platform because of this mod. So that's a huge shout out to those guys. And we're going to listen to some fantastic sounds here. So let's go ahead and we got a beacon on, everything else is on. Let's go engine mode, selector to ignition start. Make sure we have our bleed pressure. Yes, we do. Let's turn engine number 1 and let's take a listen to this. Oh, man. I can even hear the vibration, like the plastic rattling from the inside. Hot shot. These sounds are hot cheese, my friend. That sounded awesome. We're going to actually fire them both up because we're going to go to 1-9 left. So what I'm going to do is we're going to fire up the second one from the outside. But I really, really like that sound. Let me go ahead. We got an avail light there. There's 18.8. Let's go ahead and start engine 2 while we're at it. This from the outside, my child screaming in the background. Dimitri, what is going on, brother? Wow. That is awesome. That is awesome. Baby's coming up the stairs. She's probably getting ready for bath time. This is why I don't stream at this time in real life, because it is madness in the V1 household right now. But I feel like we've been together long enough here on the channel that that's all right. Awesome sounds, though, for real. That is straight juice. Dimitri, that tug driver was definitely on the bourbon, my friend. All right, we got 2 good starts. We'll go ahead and put you back to normal arm. And we have any, how the flap sounds? Oh, yeah. Very nice with the flap sounds. Man, a lot of traffic tonight. We got people taking off. Everything is looking good here. So we got 2 999 on the altimeter. Ground spoilers armed. THS is down right there. I think we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and brakes off. You can come off, taxi light can come on. And we're going to make a hard right 360 back around. Whew. I love it. Hotshot says you turn them down in the cockpit a little bit to make them a little bit more realistic. Let me do some sounds here. Let me do a little spool up sound here. It's definitely pretty realistic. I tell you what, if you are in the jump seat of a 320 Neo, or if you're flying one, you're a pilot watching this video, this is about as quiet as they really are quiet. It is now the Pratt & Whitneys, they definitely whine a little bit more, but these are the Leaps, so you kind of miss out on that when you fly the Leap. But it is a very, very quiet motor. All right, 2 999, flaps 1 plus F. Everything else looks good here. We're going to taxi out to 19er left for the Boch 8 departure. Top altitude is 300. I think we're ready to go. Look at all the traffic. Why is my sky so orange? I do have real weather set properly, right? Yes, live and live. All right. Mateo Chewy, what's going on, man? Richard Reed says, give the simulator 1 year and all other sims are history. Hey, man. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. All right, let's do our flight control check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral, auto brakes max, takeoff config. Everything else is good. Radar PWS, that can go on. Auto, I'm going to put terrain up on my side though. And we'll ding the flight attendants here. All right, I think we're just about ready to go. Las Vegas Strip, baby. Golden State says, did I see that Frontier switching to the Pratt & Whitney? Of course, dude. Because Pratt & Whitney is the only way to go, my friend. Hey, the Leap startup is awesome. There's no doubt about it. especially that fuel flow and boom. But I'll tell you what, man, I've walked around both engines in real life. I've actually been up front in both of them, and there's just something about that little extra diameter on the Pratt & Whitney that I am a huge fan of, man. Plus that low speed spool up whine that you get. That's why I burn so much gas when taxiing around in the Neo. Navy Land Sub says it's pretty cloudy and cold out here in Vegas today, almost 100% overcast, and sunset doesn't look that orange, but it's pretty orange tonight. Navy Land, well, I'll take your word for it, man. Thank you, sir. We'll take it all the way to the end here and make a left turn. Wingnut says, do you need to worry about back pressure on the APU during single engine taxi, or are there operations where the engine and APU bleed are both on and the power is above idle? 7.3 has a dual bleed lit. Wingnut, so you do not have to worry about back pressure with the APU during single engine taxi. Matter of fact, depending on the variant of Airbus you have, they are what we call SETWA capable, or single engine taxi without APU. So you can actually taxi without the APU and go all the way to the gate with one engine running, and you still have all your fire bottles and everything. But if you are not a SETWA capable A320, then you have to run the APU, but you can run the bleed with the APU on. It doesn't matter in single engine taxi. There is nothing that you need to worry about. The only thing that you need to worry about with the APU is if you have the APU bleed on and you have ground air as well. Let me make sure we are clear right. We are clear right. And ground air, like a low pressure air at the gate, that's one time where you do have to be careful. You'll get chattering downstream of the bleeds of the packs if you have a ground air unit, AC unit hooked up, and you have the APU providing bleed air. So that's really the only limitation you got to worry about in the most modern Airbuses. Now, I say most because an Airbus is an Airbus. There's so many different variations. You know, you could take one A320 from one company and then look at an A320 from another company, and there's a bunch of little features that are added or not there. So that's why I normally like to say most Airbuses. All right, we are lined up on the runway. We are ready to go, taxiing out like a Southwest pilot. Carter, you know it, my friend. That was a terrible lineup. I really wish the strip was lit up right now. But I think we're ready to go. So let me just verify my ND here. Fix 6 user, 26, 2080, everything looks good. Okay, climb nav, brake max. I feel weird not doing a checklist, but I want to get the show on the road. So everything else looks good. I'm going to spool them up 50% from right here. And we're going to go full yoga, then we'll go back to the cockpit. So enjoy the departure, guys. Here we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me get back on center line. Man, Toga, SRS runway auto thrust is blue. I don't believe it should say runway, because is there an ILS to 1 hour left? I'm not sure. 8 knots thrust set. 100. I think somebody's crossing downstream. Oh man. V1. Rotate. Nice. Rotation. Positive rate. Gear up.
And flight November Kilo Sierra 101 you are not cleared to take off.
Turn him off. Oh, I gotta switch to Unicom. I totally forgot. I need to be on Unicom, guys. That's on me. I just wasn't thinking. There's our lever climb, so I'm gonna go ahead and wait for a positive trend in airspeed. Thrust climb. I'm gonna go autopilot 1. I'm gonna turn this off because it's pretty 22.8 is what I need to be on. That's right. Somebody said something in the chat. Thanks for that. I'm just flying around like I'm not on VATSIM, but I am on VATSIM. VFX minus 10, flap 0. That radar looks scary, so let's go ahead and turn that off. Ooh, yeah. Take off without a clearance. Wait. Nobody's on, right? Hey, I haven't got a message from anybody. We're good to go. Hey, guy says I got a number for you to copy when you're ready. Hey, nobody messaged me. And the only singer I see is Salt Lake, so we're good. I think we're good. This is freaking me out. Oh yeah, coming on top of the clouds here. Check this out. Wow. I'm gonna turn the volume down. It's gonna get loud. I'm gonna apologize. And right here, let me get the little joystick set up. And this is why this sim is going to be the future, right here, guys. Hotshot says, I made the engine sounds fade out the faster you get at cruise. You should barely hear the whine. That's awesome, dude. I cannot wait. Look at this, though. I mean, man, I wish you guys could see this in the same resolution that I'm streaming in. I thought this was noise abatement. No, noise abatement is coming out of John Wayne. It's coming out of John Wayne. Now that we're out of here, I'm going to brighten up my PFD and ND here. We're 12.5. We'll go ahead. Landing taxi can come off. And wing lights can come off. Everything else looks good. We'll ding the flight attendants, let them know we're at 10,000. What are you anti-ice on? Oh yeah, we need to do a little bit of that, huh? Let's go engine 1, engine 2 on. Phantom 320, you're failing here at pilot monitoring. We're definitely in icing conditions, and he's just looking out the window. We got the ice on. We're looking good now. Look at that shot. Sin City Sim, awesome, dude. He says V1 just departed right behind you. Gave a 90-second separation before I set thrust. Sin City, awesome, dude. I saw that airplane behind me. I wasn't sure if it was somebody watching the stream or not. Pilot Boy says, I think the future is here. You would be correct, my friend. Jeremy Harvey says, I had to recreate the gear thump sound from scratch. The sample didn't work out. Oh, really? That was so you were doing that gear thump sound? Very, very distinct in the A320. When you put the gear up or put the gear down, you get that, the up locks releasing, and you get that donk sound in cockpit. So definitely awesome. Dimitri says, am I the only one who thinks that this one does not look like an A320, especially the front nose section? Not even close, just saying. Really? Let me see, Dimitri. You don't think that looks like an A320? I don't know, man. I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at the one I got on my desk here. It looks pretty good to me. The engines might be throwing you off, man. Maybe the engines are throwing you off. I think it's pretty good. I think the 3D modeling is pretty good. Oh yeah, there we go. Get a little sunlight. This is why I love flying that Spirit yellow here when the sun comes off of it like that. Just awesome. Subik says hello from India. Well, how's it going, man? Hotshot says Jeremy helped me make a lot, like gear sounds and then a bunch of engine samples. Very, very awesome stuff to provide to improve the sound. That's awesome. That's awesome that you're working on that. You're able to help out, Jeremy. That's fantastic, man. I know you have a way with sound and with music. That's awesome, dude. All right, we should not need engine anti-ice anymore, so let's see if it yells at me here. We're going to go turn the engine anti-ice off. It's a short flight, so we got to be careful here. We're out of 18, so we'll go ahead and set standard set. Climb up to 300. We'll start setting up. Now, I have flown into this airport in real life in an Airbus. Oh, my goodness, look at this. So I'm going to go over some very specific things that we need to prepare for as we plan for our arrival into John Wayne. I tell you what, when you fly into John Wayne in real life, it's fun. It's definitely fun, but it's definitely one of those airports where you want to bring your A game. It can go bad, and it can go bad in a hurry. It's a lot like Burbank. Matter of fact, I think the runways are very similar in length, but I think the landing landing at the glide slope the runway is less in John Wayne. I'd have to verify that, but I'm pretty sure John Wayne is shorter if you follow the glide slope down, which you do It's common practice to also kind of dip below the 2 white, 2 red on the PAPI once landing is assured, but you really got to be careful with that, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. It seems like it's a pretty smooth ride, but goodness, look at this. This is just... this sim, man. Mateo, you think the nose is too rounded as well? Like, are you talking... I'm looking at my 320 model. Now let me look here. Are you saying... okay, so maybe... is it too short? Like it almost bumped into a wall or something, right? Like maybe we bumped into that Las Vegas terminal. I guess, let me see if I get a profile 90 shot. Yeah. Okay, I think I can see it. Maybe it should come out just a little bit more. Perhaps. I don't know, we'll spin it around. Oh my gosh, look at that. All right, let's enjoy this view for a little bit. Christopher Levin says, why don't you bring an audio recorder next time you fly to get some sweet sound? Christopher, so I tried to do some recording with my cell phone. It was pretty terrible. Not to mention some profanity was spoken. I totally forgot I was recording. Anyway, I'll save that for the podcast. Got a funny little story that'll be coming up for the podcast, for the Cockpit Confessional. But anyway, Dynasty says, John Wayne is like Burbank, but rich people around you who move next to an airport complain about the noise. You got it, man. So while we're sitting here and as we're climbing out, we need to start looking at our charts. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up Navigraph, and we don't need Las Vegas. What we need now is SNA. I'm going to open up the charts here. What does it mean when the PAPIs are not coincident or coincident? I still haven't. I think it's coincident. I always have this debate on the proper pronunciation of that word. But all that means, Jeremy, is that if you follow the glide slope exactly, your PAPIs are not going to match up. So if your glide slope is 3 degrees, sometimes the PAPIs may be a little bit more. So if you're on glide slope, your PAPIs may show 3 reds. Or if you're on glide slope, your PAPIs may show 3 whites. And it's just something to alert you. I did a video on this on my channel, PAPI versus glide slope, a while ago, and I explain exactly all about the PAPIs and VASI and glide slope information. So it's not on a playlist. It's if you just search my channel for PAPI versus glide slope and which to fly. And that really explains it. But that's all that means, Jeremy, is that it's not coincident with the glide slope or whatever you're following. All right. So here's John Wayne, 20 right, 5,700 feet available. But I wonder if it says it here. It should say it on the back on the 10.9A page. Let's see here. Here we go. Usable lengths landing beyond glide slope 4,800 feet on 20 right. So if you follow the glide slope down, you only have 4,800 feet to stop. Now there are no company charts here in Navigraph, but every airline that flies into John Wayne has company specific charts that you have to be careful and follow. So essentially what the company charts are going to tell you to do and what they'll advise you of is that this is a very short runway. You need to be stable and configured. Now, I would tell you from my experience, we are supposed to be fully configured and stable on speed at the final approach fix. So I know I talk a lot on this channel about, 2,000 feet above the touchdown zone, and that's when you manage speed and you start to slow down. That's going to go out the window for this approach because this is one of those niche airports where you need to be stable ahead of time. So we're going to plan to be fully configured on speed at the final approach fix on the ILS. Now, the other thing in our company charts is it says, and it says in multiple company charts, is that you must be down by the 1,500 footers or a mandatory go-around is required. So you have to be down by 1,500 feet or you got to go around. Period. No questions asked. Now, this is FS 2020. I know the plane likes to float, so we may stretch it out as long as we're down in the touchdown zone. I will do my best to kind of walk that fine line between realism and flight simulation. I do know this mod does like to float a little bit, so we'll be very careful of that, but we'll be configured at the final approach fix. Now, it's also a mandatory auto brakes medium, which in the Airbus, auto brakes medium is essentially maximum auto brakes. You can't use max auto brakes for landing. You can only use medium and full reverse. So we're going to use medium brakes, full reverse, full flaps, and use of manual braking is allowed if your auto brakes are in NOP or something like that. So it looks like my arrival never loaded here, did it? That's interesting. Let's see here. Well, it did. I want to do the Disney 4, though. Am I on the Disney 4? Oh boy. There we go. Now it looks better. I'm trying to step through this flight plan here. Okay, there's the arrival. Now we look good. Now we look good. Alright, so that looks good. Arrival is in there. Let's go ahead and get the ATIS, and then we got to actually start probably descending here pretty soon. SNA arrival, we'll go ahead and send that off. Back to arc mode. LS push buttons will be on. We already talked about it. Auto brakes medium, flaps full. There's high terrain all quadrants, so we will have terrain mode on. One pilot is required to have terrain mode. The other pilot is required to have weather radar on. Mach number is awfully slow. We're doing 7.2 Mach, my friend. 727 Mach. That must be a sign that we got to be an X-plane next and fly the 727, huh? There's our company message. Come back here. Received messages. ATIS new. We'll print that off. Now, if I can only get that to print to my 3D printer, or thermal printer. All right, here we go. 190 at 6, right down the pipe, 10 miles, fuel at 200, temperature 12, 3007. That looks good. So what I'm going to do here is next phase 3007, and collect my paper. Oh, I don't like the camera manipulations in FS 2020. So now does that? Yes, it updates that. Okay, so I can see it. I know it may be tough for you guys. 190 at 6. Hey, I'm just waiting on Starlink. I've already decided that as soon as Starlink is available for my area, guys, I will be going down that route so we can be back in HD streams. But until then, we just got to make do with what we've got here. So we got temperature 12, 3007, 190 at 6. MDA, let me actually pull that up because I need to look at that. So let's go SNA approaches. This is this is very similar, real life. This is a fast, you take off and you actually kind of start thinking about briefing the approach before you even reach top of cruise or top of climb. Okay, here we go. So this is our 20 right, 255 in the MDA. All right, and how are we looking for top of descent? Did we already miss it? Let me see. Let's go back to the... All right, so there is our Lemon 2200. That's the one we really got to pay attention to. And Disney 4. Let's take a look at this real quick. The bottom of the arrival is J Ward at 7,600 feet. All right, so I'm going to put Navigraph away, put you away. 7,600 for the descend via. $7,600 is blue. At or below 200 for done. It's about 20 miles away, 10, we should probably start down. I think we're a little bit behind. So I'm going to go ahead and thrust throttle descent. I'm going to vertical speed us down here. 1800. We're going to kind of manually tweak this descent. Look at, there's already SoCal. I can already see SoCal on the horizon there. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me right now? What's your final approach fix? Final approach fix is, was it Lemon or Lennon at 2,200 feet? Sid said, it says, okay, I'm doing 7.5. My ground speed is 400 and you're at 424, so I'm going to stay as slow as I can to keep the operation. Sin City, thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. I'm starting down, so maybe I'll get out of the wind here and I'll be able to pick up some speed. This airplane does not have proper VNAV yet. I do not believe it does. Now, Hotshot, if you're in the chat, you may be able to correct me on that. I actually haven't even tested doing a full-blown VNAV arrival yet. The last I flew, I don't believe it did, and I think maybe it does it like tentatively, but I just use vertical speed and mental math to kind of get the airplane where it needs to be as of right now as a placeholder. But when you have views like this, I mean, do you need VNAV? I mean, yes, I would like VNAV because I like study level stuff, but this is unreal. Pilot Boy says, I love how they said FS98 was as real as it gets. Man, I remember FS98. That was the first sim where I actually really started hardcore flight simulation. I was like, I like this. You know, FS98. That's the one with the, I was like an MD-80 or some or Learjet maybe. It was some tail-mounted engine airplane on the cover, landing over black runway with just the lights. I think, right? That's the FS98 cover. That was my OG. I think I played one before that too. But FS98 is when I started to really get into it. Am I just a simmer? You have any of your licenses? No, man, I fly the airplane in real life, dude. I actually flew into John Wayne last week. That's why we're doing this flight right now. I totally forgot about John Wayne Airport. And we always do challenging approaches into LaGuardia or Washington, D.C., or, you know, what's the other? Portland, Maine was fun. We did that one. But this is Burbank. People do Burbank. But John Wayne is legit just as challenging, if not more challenging, than Burbank. And I think Burbank is probably the most challenging when you compare it to any of the East Coast approaches. Because the East Coast approaches are, you know, you got the river visual, which is fun. You've got the Portland, Maine harbor visual, which is fun. You all have long runways, or relatively long. I mean, even LaGuardia has got it's over 6,000 feet. Once you get to a runway that has less than 6,000 feet available, there's a whole different SOP that you have to follow. And again, for your airline or airline specific, but typically once that 6,000 foot mark is kind of the cutoff where you're going to have different regulations on landing on surfaces with less than 6,000 feet of usable distance. So Burbank and John Wayne are definitely a challenge, but John Wayne is, I think, more challenging, especially when you go to the departure. The departure is fun. It is a static thrust, maximum performance takeoff, flaps 3 Toga, and then you have a thrust reduction at 860 feet, and then you basically just glide, and then you can accelerate at the 30 or 3,000 feet. Is this a captain's-only airport? Jeremy, that would probably... A captain-only airport would probably be a company-specific type of limitation. There's nothing in the FARs or in the regulations that say, you know, only captains can land here, because really, you know, a captain and FO, you're both equally trained on the airplane. There just has to be somebody that has the final say in a two-crew environment. So, but that captain-only landing is going to be a company limitation, and I would imagine so. I know Burbank is a captain-only. I know this one is a captain-only for certain airlines. It just depends on who you work for. Can an A320 do a WAS approach? It can do LPV, which is kind of similar, or an RNP. WAS is... That's wide area augmentation system. I haven't looked at that since I was a flight instructor, man. I'm pretty sure it can do WAS equivalent. Somebody will probably know in the chat. LPV, isn't that WAS? I don't know. Let's see. I think it's time to fly into Pero. Minik, you got it, man. It's going to happen, my friend. It will happen. Look at these views here. Oh, here we go, coming over the mountains. They are snow-capped right now in real life, too. Actually, we need to pick up our descent here. At or below 1,500, we'll go ahead and... Well, it seems to be on the descent. We'll see what it does. We got 3007 in the altimeters. Let's go ahead and set 3007. 255 in the barrel. Medium brakes, flaps full, full reverse. Any questions? No questions. Approach checklist. All right, here we go. Seatbelts are coming on. Look at this view right here, guys. I'm telling you, with that sun, this simulator makes it harder every time I fly in FS 2020. It makes it harder and harder to get back into X-Plane. I'm telling you. This is, I just have to pause. I know midstream, mid-premium gold logger, but this view right here is unreal. I cannot believe I'm seeing this from my desktop simulator. WAS wasn't a thing when you were in flight school. Yeah, WAS was very... My only experience with WAS is reading about it when it was coming out, man. Wide area augmentation. Now, MLS, or microwave landing systems, and I know that Europe has that. Yeah, now I don't even know, do they even teach NDB stuff? I don't even know if they teach NDBs anymore. I remember doing NDB holds. Razgrit says you've been admittedly getting into the CJ4 mod. Everybody's been talking about the CJ4 mod. I am going to have to try it. You know, it's on this VNav right now. It seems to be doing all right. We might be a little high at Aspen. But in all honesty, I think we're doing good. So we're about to go over, or did we already go over Mammoth? I think we already went over Mammoth, the ski resort. There it is. There, is that Mammoth? Yeah. There's Mammoth, guys. There's the ski resort. Looks like somebody's going in down there. A little private jet, probably. But this is the ski resort here in Southern California. Are you kidding me right now? These views. D. Pimentel, what's going on, man? He says, you know what FS 2020 needs? Sunglasses. I hear you, man. You need sunglasses. This is one of those sims where if you like to fly with sunglasses on, this is definitely one of those sims where I'm like, all right, I could see why the guy's wearing sunglasses, because you actually need it in FS 2020. No joke, you need it. Now, with X Enviro and X-Plane, you might need sunglasses as well. Coming in over the mountains, though. This is unreal. Tyler Gamble says he had 3 NDB questions under commercial written. Mateo says, I still cannot bring myself to fly anything in the sim. Beautiful, but it's never doing what it's supposed to do. Unnerving after 3 minutes. Mateo, really, my friend? Even the fly-by-wire mod 320? I think, you know, there is some little things in the McDo that still need to be worked on, obviously, and getting some more proper VNav stuff. But man, as far as just getting in and flying, and if you can fly the TOLUS around, you should be able to just hop in this FS 2020 Neo mod and have some enjoyment. Oh, what do we got? Sam AD. Thank you, man, for the 10. Not even going to pretend that I know what the A is, but thank you so much, dude, for the $10 donation. He says, thank you, watch, and I've learned a few things. Sam, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much for your support on the channel. Thank you for that donation. I'm glad you've learned a few things. At the end of the day, that is what this channel is here for. It's for me to teach you guys something about aviation, whether it's Airbus related or maybe just a fun fact about an airport. Like, how many of you knew that departing a 320 in John Wayne, you need to do a flaps 3 Toga, no flex takeoff? So maybe you learned something there. Or I try to give you little nuggets along the way. And some streams I feel are definitely more educational based, and some streams are more for fun. When we're in FS 2020, it tends to be more of a chill vibe, just kind of have some fun and hang out. But again, I'm glad you're learning a few things, man. That makes me happy, dude. Wing flex for the win. I agree. Mateo says, having both the TOLAS and the Neo expansion, I don't feel like trying another 320. Okay, now that I can totally agree with, man. That Neo expansion is freaking awesome. And the 319 is fully updated now for you guys, right? I believe that update came out, so you guys get to play around with that. I'll tell you, I did a V1 cut in the TOLAS 319 the day of my sim check ride, just for practice. I kind of wanted to see. I tried to load up the FS Labs, but I was having some issues with P3D, of course. So I did it in the TOLAS, and I was shocked at how accurate the ECAMs were and how accurate everything was in the TOLAS. So we are going to be doing a check ride stream while it's fresh in my head, and we're going to be in the TOLAS aircraft. And what we're going to do is I'm going to fly an exact check ride profile for you guys with the most updated TOLAS version, and it is almost identical. The ECAMs, the way the emergencies run, and the logic in the TOLAS is almost identical to the real airplane, which is something that wasn't necessarily correct in previous versions. But since that latest update, I will tell you, I was extremely surprised at what I saw. So we'll be doing that. I know I posted a community post that made no sense, so I just took it down. I didn't have my coffee yet before I posted that one, but here we go. Sun is setting over the Gold Coast. We have a speed restriction at 220 knots, and it's actually coming back to 220 now. So I'm gonna go ahead and select 220. Sin City Aviation, I'm gonna go ahead and select 220 knots indicated, my friend. I'm at 7,000 feet, leveling 7,600. We're also through 10,000, so I'm going to activate and confirm the approach phase. I will also turn on all my other exterior lights. There we go. That is awesome. I don't know where to park myself with this sim. There's the sunset. Let's watch that sun just disappear over the horizon. This is X-Plane. No, this is FS 2020, Lone Star. Hotshot says, try going to view the front of the engine on approach and spool up. It will allow you to hear the small sound details of fans, such as the buzzes and the whines only heard in the front. Ooh, Hotshot. I will, man. So, oh, you know what I need to do is I need to get my drone camera on. Let me do that. And I'm going to turn you into a window. There we go, so you guys don't see that. So now I can... drone cam. Get the drone cam set up for you. There we go. All right. Drone cam is set up for approach. Hopefully I will remember. I did see somebody is testing like a replay mode, so we're looking good here. We're approaching Disney 220 at or below 8,000. We're going to go ahead. In real life, they give you a 6,000 here. There goes 6,000. 6,000 blue, thrust idle open, descent, which is pretty darn close to these mountains, but they do give you a 6,000 footer on this. Let's park out here on this wing. God, that looks real. Fubar says, I can't wait until the day we have replay mode in the sim. It will be nice to be able to hear all the sounds and see all the eye candy without flying at the same time. Yes, Fubar, I agree, man. Somebody posted a link in the Discord with somebody using a beta replay program, which looked pretty awesome, not gonna lie. Oh, Hotshot says that for the sound I meant in the passenger view. You have the setup livery front left. That's the best sound view. You got it, man. So you're talking about right here, right in front of the engine. We'll do it, my friend. We'll do it. We'll leave the autopilot on so we can enjoy the eye candy coming into John Wayne. Deep Intel says, I really want to get X in viral, but struggling to justify the price. D, make sure you have the, I don't know what your specs are, but make sure you got a pretty powerful rig, my friend, because it is, from what I have experienced, it is definitely a very demanding program, even still in Vulkan. If you had auto land, you can watch the aircraft landing V1. There you go. Just watch it from the outside. Have I tried the no tooltips mod V1? No, Blue Mac, I have not. Matter of fact, this is really the first time that I was working all week, and then I jumped back and I wanted to do this stream. I actually wanted to do this stream yesterday. Look at the traffic behind us there. Look at that. 1, 2, 3 coming in behind. That's awesome. That's a cool shot. You got the snow-capped mountains in the back and 3 aircraft behind us. But I've been out of the loop, man. I've been super busy, and I worked this week too. But next week, this weekend, we'll try to get some more stuff out for you. Passing Big Bear. That's what it was, not Mammoth. Thank you. That's not Big Bear or Mammoth? I thought it was when we back here. Wasn't this was Mammoth back here? It had to be Mammoth. Dimitri says, member 1 year V1 sim. I know VOR approaches will be obsolete in 5 years' time, but is there a VOR approach in the bus and the cars for this channel? Dimitri, I just remember you. It is the yeah. I know exactly a one that we can do. Let me just send the 3000. It's in, is it Mexico City? It's a VOR circle, which I've done in real life, and I was like, what the heck am I doing? Dimitri, I'm gonna write this down. I think it's MGGT. I think that's the airport. La Aurora. MGGT. Dimitri, I'm gonna write this down, and I will try to definitely get that for you. I don't have any scenery down there, so I don't know. Can we even do VOR in this airplane? I'm not sure if we can. I will take a look, Dimitri, and we'll do it. I wanted to do the circled the Samos, and I saw XP was doing it in the A300, so I'm just gonna have to give it some time. I'm gonna come back to 180 knots. There's VFE next. Let's go flaps 1. But yeah, I wanted to do that Samo circle in the A300. I saw XP beat me to it on that one. What are my thoughts about the INI Beluga? I just saw that before the stream. That's pretty sweet. I mean, why not, right? All right, right about here, sometimes they give you cleared for the visual. There's, I believe that's her right there. That's John Wayne. So we need to get on down, descend and maintain 3,200. And let's get on down here. There's VFE minus 10. Let's go flaps 2. Oh, yeah. Dimitri says I can hook you up with scenery if you want. Dimitri, I will hit you up. I will try to do it tonight before I get off the stream. And I will try to figure out which airport it was. I think it was MGGT. Because that's where I actually did a VOR approach in the Airbus. And it was basically at minimums, and I couldn't believe I was flying a VOR approach in the mountains. All right, here we go. 180. There's Snake. We're coming down. We're a little bit high. I'm going to go ahead and get the speed brakes out. Spoid brakes. Why do you extend flaps at VFE next minus 10 instead of right at VFE next? It's just for overspeed precautions. If you do it right at VFE, if you get a gust of wind, like if I were to extend flaps right now, this red tape is going to come right on down, and if I get a gust of wind, it'd bump me up into the overspeed, then I got to write the airplane up. Now that could be a company-specific thing, but most of the time, you want to be a little bit below your max. All right, we're going to keep coming down. Lemon's at 2,200. I'm going to set 2,200. We're getting a little high on profile. Let's go gear down. Oh, nice thump sound. Look at this. Here's John Wayne right here. Speed brakes up and gear coming down. we'll go ahead and manage speed. Arm the approach. I'll constrain star. Loc is captured. Glide slope blue. We're slowing up. All right, I need to pay attention here. Arm that. VFE next -10. Flaps 3. And I'm probably going to make a boo-boo here and be level. Fully configured, which I do not want to do. I'm surprised we didn't capture that glide slope. Turn off terrain mode. Beautiful night here. Come on, capture already. There it is. Glide slope star. Go on altitude. 3000 blue. Make sure our wing lights are on. Everything is on. That looks good. There we go. We are on the approach. That is a thing of beauty, ladies and gentlemen. Is it working like it should? Yeah, it did. It just, I was surprised it didn't capture that glide slope. But I think I was a little late on the approach push button. I'm going to turn the sounds up a little bit for the approach. Man. All right, we're on slope. Landing checklist, cabin crew advised, auto thrust, speed. ECAM memo, landing all green, landing check is complete. We are cleared to land. John Wayne traffic, spear wings 1013, short final, 20 white, John Wayne. 20 white. Very easy on the wind here. This is a stunning approach here at night. I wasn't even planning to come in here at sunset. It just worked out this way, real time. This is real time. Practically an air clip movie. I know if I was streaming in 4K right now, you'd have a hard time telling if this was real.
John Wayne traffic, spear wings 3090, 7.5 mile final, John Wayne.
Ooh, traffic behind. So we're gonna have to no delay off the runway here. All right, 2 whites, 2 reds, 1,000 feet, stable, clear to land.
1,000.
Should we hand fly it?
1,000.
Let's do it. Oops, it's not bound. Dang it. Autopilot's off. Alright, so when landing is assured, I'm going to dip below the 2 whites, 2 reds. Medium is set, reverse full, we'll do it. Mateo says, enjoy the rest of your evening, V1. Got to dash to bed. It's already the wee hours here. Catch up soon, and thanks for the great material. Mateo, thank you so much, man. Have a good night, my friend.
500. 500.
All right, there's 3 reds.
400. 400. 400.
There we go. 2 whites, 2 reds. Right about here. Man, this looks real, guys. Because I'm telling you, this looks so real.
Minimum.
All right, there we go. 3 reds. Oh, don't want to go all red there. Insight landing. There we go. 3 reds.
100.
Pretty normal.
50,
Landing assured.
40, 30, 20, retard. 10, 5.
They all nailed it, man. That was perfect.
Long Beach traffic, status
First screen, decel. Manual brakes. 70 knots. Oh, we're not going to make it. We'll take the next one. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to John Wayne. Left turn at the end, Alpha to the gate.
John Wayne traffic, spear wings 3090, short final, 20 right, John Wayne.
And John Wayne traffic, spear wings 1013. We're clear, 20 right, we'll taxi on the gate via Alpha. There we go. We got another guy on final. And tight right turn. So this FBO, I believe it's ACI jets now. Let's clean up the airplane. Used to be an Atlantic, and they used to have the best chocolate chip cookies in California. Wanted to see this guy coming in over here. Landing lights can come off, strobe lights can come off. Wow, that was pretty fun. Did the landing feet per minute come up? I didn't even see it, so I can't even see that pop up. That's only a stream overlay. I have to rewatch it. So it did pop up. Landing rate 186 feet per minute. Phew, I will take that. I will take that. That is I believe a Fly Live. Yes, it's Fly Live that provides that information. I'm just kind of giving it a test right now, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, I can't see the landing rate, only you guys can. This guy coming down. Ooh, here's a little... Oh, I messed up the camera view right at touchdown. He brought it in a little low there. A little low across the threshold there, Captain. Let's see if he makes that first. Is it Papa? I think he's going to make that first exit. Oh, yeah, he's going to make that first one. What was that? Like 20 feet above threshold? Nah, man, that's fine in this airport. Like, in all honesty, in real life, I'll be completely honest with you guys. When I was flying in here, I did about 30 feet over the threshold coming in. New member, PC Chronicles.
Traffic 3090 vacated 20 right, exit get by Alpha.
PC Chronicles, thank you for joining the channel, my friend. Exclamation point welcome for more information about your perks on the channel. Glad to have you aboard, dude. All right, that was definitely some juice. That was definitely juice. All right, let's see here. This is the common use gate. Looks like there's somebody there. We'll take the gate next to that. Go ahead and turn taxi light off. There's a vehicle right where I want to be. It's all right, we're going to park. Okay, I'm going to need you to move, sir. Safety zone is not clear. Safety area is not clear. I repeat, safety area is not clear. But tied on gates up here. Do a little southwest stop. Brakes are set. We'll go external power. And engine 2. Engine 1. A little spool down here. PC Pilot says, glad to be here. I've learned a lot from you. Commercial student real life. PC Pilot, awesome, dude. Thank you so much. Okay, that's awesome that you're a commercial student already, my friend. That's pretty sweet. All right, we got a nice spool down, and beacon light can come off 5% and 1. And let's go ahead and kill the pumps. And seatbelt sign. Off, and radar's off. PWS is off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SNA. I wish I had a replay mode for you. Let's see who's. Let's go here in our little drone. We got somebody else coming in. Oh, this guy's parking right here next to me. Awesome, awesome. He went through the Cobus 3000 there, and he's still got his taxi light on. That's right. I still have my wing lights on. We got another guy coming in here. Let's see if we can zoom over here. There is traffic landing. We'll get this guy's landing, and then we are going to probably have to just wrap it up right there. But maybe tomorrow or the next day we will do the departure out of here. Let's see this guy coming in. Oh yeah, right across the stairs. Oh, he dropped that sucker down. Boink. Nice. I like how you can hear the engine sounds too. Pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Let me check here real quick. Do you guys want to go back? Let me see what the internet's doing. I would like to just hop in and go back and knock this out. Let me see. I'm going to throw up the... Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm not going to throw up any screen here. What about over here? Let me try something. Does this clear the database out? No, it doesn't. Lone Star says, you should come to Texas. I'll smoke you a slab, brother. Lone Star, I'm already in Texas, my friend. You know what? Let's go back. Do you guys want to go back? Let's see if I can load up another flight plan here. Internet, it dropped 2% of frames, but I think we can go back. I think we're doing it. I think we're going to do it. So, let me ask you, for the experienced fly-by-wire modders, let me try out these freaking engine lights because they're annoying. Can I refile a new sim brief flight plan and then it will bring up let's try it. Let me try that anyway. I don't know if this will work. We might have to put it in manually, but we'll go new flight here, and we're gonna be continuation. So we're gonna be NKS, and we're gonna be 10:14 for the return. Heck, it's only a 40-minute flight, not even. We are KSNA to Las Vegas. No alternate. Actually, we do need an alternate. Hit that thumbs up to go back. Yeah, if you want to go back, hit the thumbs up button. A320 aircraft. Oh, not a 321. A320. And top altitude is... That's fine with me. Let's do it. Generate. I don't think you can load on a new flight plan, but I'm not sure. I don't think it will. Okay, so we just have to do it manually. I'm just curious. Let's see what it did here. Let's see. Oh my gosh, it changed it. NKS 1014, but will it... Uplink in progress. Look at that. SNA to Las Vegas. Well, heck. We already got it loaded. Let's do this. Let's load up this bird here, guys. What am I doing? Back to ATSU, AOC, perf weight and balance. Load the fuel. Yes, ma'am. Load the payload. Yes, sir. 157. Good night. We're gonna be loaded up out of here. Oh, just let me put it in there. Okay. Let's see. Departure procedure is SNA departing 20 right, and we are going to be on the real route here. Read Zephyr's comment. You need to press delete all on the data page. Uh-oh. Even after it uploaded? We'll see. Let me get back to it. Fins 3, Meisen, KPEX 6. I should have memorized this. I just did this not too long ago. Meisen, insert, and then you know what? We'll probably have to land 19, and we'll get a visual to 19er left. Let's set up for the RNAV visual. Oh, it's not in here? Oh, it is. RNAV visual 19er left. KPEX 6. Suvi. Insert. Son of a gun. It loaded it all up. 269 miles, 9.6 fuel on board. That looks good. Secondary, nothing. RadNav, nothing. Init B. What do we have? New weights. New fuel on board is 12.5. It already loaded that up. Already loaded the fuel up. We do have an alternate of Ontario. It loaded that up. man, this airplane is on fire. We are going to need new speeds. Okay, so since we're here, let me talk about this departure and why it is challenging. Let me close. I've got about 76 tabs open here for the stream window. Flight Simmer says I'm failing as a tester. All right, so what we need to do here, this takeoff requires a maximum performance takeoff from the airplane. So we're requiring a flaps 3, no flex. So the speeds are going to be 121, 122, 126, changes now to 18,000. Now, can I adjust these? Let me see. In real life, it's 860 and 3060. Well, I'll be damned. Okay, so this is what makes this departure insanely fun to fly. Thrust reduction is at 860 feet, and acceleration altitude is at 3,060 feet. So if you can imagine the profile for takeoff, if you follow my mouse here, you're essentially going to max performance up to 860 feet, and you're going to reduce the thrust levers. Then you're going to gradually climb over the rich people's houses while you're using your momentum from your takeoff until reaching 3,000 feet, and then you're going to go ahead and continue to climb out on a normal acceleration schedule at 3,000 feet. So this departure does require flaps 3 with a static takeoff. Now, the Airbus A320 limitation is you're only allowed 50% thrust with brakes on for static departure max takeoff. So not the parking brake. We're not using the parking brake. It's just you're literally going to stand on the brake pedals here, and we're going to spool it up to 50% on static thrust and then release. Rolling takeoffs are prohibited. I actually read this last week when I was going in here. So you cannot just roll onto the runway and take off. You have to do a static thrust departure. So we're set up flaps 3, transition altitude 18,000 feet, top altitude. I don't even know what did it. What did we program? We're not going to do that. We're going to do 29. We'll do 29 and that looks good. And we'll set 29,000 feet here. Let me get you back to thousands. 290. And this airplane is turned around. Let's go ahead and get the APU fired up. Let's get our fuel pumps back on. Let's get our seatbelt signs on. Wait for our flap open and get out of here. Hotshot says, I will be off V1. Have a nice flight. Thank you, Hotshot. Sounds are absolute juice, my friend. They are absolute juice, dude. We'll do a little night flight on the way back. I haven't done a night flight in a long time here. Flap open. Let's fire it up. Oh, yeah. Christopher Levin says, V1, get ready. You're going to get config warnings when doing flaps 3 takeoff. It's an Azobo bug. Oh, no. Is it? All right, well, we're going to have to ignore it. Anthony says the rich people living below this departure can be such tools. So there's actually a lot of truth to that, Anthony. It's not even just a personal statement. So the airport is monitored by, I'd have to look at my company charts. I don't even have my iPad with me right here, but the airport is monitored by several noise monitoring stations. And if you bust one, if you pop one, it comes right back to your company and it's on you. So it is a big no-go. You definitely want to make sure you are adhering by the requirements for the noise abatement and you're reducing the thrust when required. So it is it's a big time, you know, a pilot's perspective, it's a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoy it, but you do want to be on your A game. You want to make sure you're not missing anything. And let's do this. One thing that the real airplane does that I'll tell you here, I'll do a departure, SNA, send. So these perf speeds, in real life, we upload these via data link. Now, what happens is I have to manually put these thrust reduction and acceleration altitude in the box, just like in the real airplane. But if you do this first and then you upload your takeoff speeds, this will get cleared out to the default value. So it's in red all over the charts. You have to make sure you input these after you've already uplinked your takeoff data speeds. So that's just one of those gotchas that you gotta be paying attention. New ATIS here. Print that off, 10 miles, 3007, calm night, beautiful night, 3007. We'll collect paper, we'll put that up front, and we're about ready for pushback. I will park you guys right here.
Southwest 3972, we are on localization 24, light speed power about 21
Flight data, let me do a new flight here, so I need to swap it. Look at this, I can just do this. I'm liking this fly live. So now it should say SNA to Las Vegas. I'm liking this. I am liking this. Flex is for wimps, you got it, man. They have Toga neighborhood watch. I was thinking. Okay, so I'll tell you real quick before I run downstairs and get my new beer, as APU is spooled up. We did a Toga takeoff, flaps 3, just, you know, like we're supposed to, and we had, oh, I don't know, I think it was less than 50 people on the airplane. The airplane climbed like a rocket. I think we only used probably 3,000, probably less than 3,000 feet for takeoff. It was unreal. So let me get another beer, guys. I will actually, let's park you out here. Watch this guy push back. I will be right back in about 60 seconds.
John Wayne ground at flight November Kilo Sierra 1014 requesting pushback. And flight November Kilo Sierra 1014 pushback request accepted. John Wayne ground and flight November Kilo Sierra 1014 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the right. And flight November Kilo Sierra 1014, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Oh my gosh, muted the whole time. Yep, check the flight plan, we're good to go. Cleared your tail, bud. Sorry that I pushed back on you. This pushback is working out pretty good here. Bravo Tango, I was responding to your comment. I was like, man, that's pretty insane. Hopefully they got Neos going over your head now instead of, you know, JTADs or 727s.
John Wayne ground at flight November Kilo Sierra 1014 requesting the end of pushback. And flight November Kilo Sierra 1014 request to end pushback received.
Let's go ahead and start it up. 22.8 is up. We got comm and fire engine 1. Let's go. Take a listen. That light off sound is pretty sweet, I'm not gonna lie. Got the rattling there at the window again. Just the sounds are definitely becoming a BSS level of sound. Got to give it to them. That's huge. That is huge. All right, come on, let's pull it up here. 10.6. At least we don't have to do any dual cooling. And there's a veil. We'll go ahead and start engine 2. Always going to do the 2-engine taxi here in John Wayne. Chris says, I must say that it's getting annoying to be a flight sim these days. We buy expensive planes, subscriptions to charts, go on VATSIM, etc. And we have to hear half of the things that's good to know is locked away in operators' operations. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's where you get in trouble, is in your operator's manual. You know, every airline's different. They got different procedures for different things. But you know, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to show you guys some techniques and some things that aren't publicly available, you know, to just the average flight simmer. So that's why you watch the V1 Simulations channel, right? Zachary says, hey man, I'm a Part 141 student about to start commercial. Awesome. Love the content and it keeps me inspired. All the best for you in 2021. Zachary, thank you so much for your kind words, man. All the best to you and your flight training, good sir. I wish you all the best. Remember, anybody in flight training right now, just enjoy it, because you will only be a flight student once. All right, we're going to do a flaps 3 departure. 1, 2, 3. That is the thing that, you know, I remember being a student and just thinking, man, I just want to get there. I want to be done with this, be done with this, be done with that. But you got to remember, you are only going to be a flight student one time. So put your head down, do the work, be prepared, and enjoy it. Because once you're no longer a flight student, you'll never be a flight student again. All right, auto and on, 2000. We're going to put that into all mode. I don't even know if it works. Here we go. John Wayne traffic. Spirit Wings 1014 will be taxiing at 20 right, John Wayne. All right, so little thing here about John Wayne airports. Let me pull up my charts. Another little thing here, another little tidbit. I don't know if this is on the chart or if it was a company chart thing. So in taxiing, I'm pretty sure there's I think this is a hotspot. So this hotspot right here on Alpha, number one, Airbus cannot take taxiway Charlie, so don't take Charlie. In real life, they hold you short of Lima, and then they will cross you. So you don't actually hold short on 20 left. You hold short on Alpha, and then you can taxi across. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe there was an airplane holding on Lima when Harrison Ford landed on Charlie, because he landed on Charlie, right? I think he landed on Charlie, unless he landed on Alpha, which that's just terrible. But yeah, real life, you hold short of Lima, and then they will tell you to either hold short 20 left on Lima, which is a rare clearance. More often than not, you're going to get a clear across 20 left, hold short 20 right clearance for that. But, all right, we'll go ahead and minimize that. We will minimize Navigraph, and here is a Lima. John Wayne traffic, Spirit Wings 1014. We're going to hold short 20 right on Lima, John Wayne. So we're going to hold short, wait for landing traffic here. Unless that's a GA airplane. I can't tell. Okay, traffic on final. Are you landing 20 right? And John Wayne. I think he is. I think he is. We'll light it up here so they can see us. Jeremy Harvey says the engine spool up was so hard for us to do. I had to chop samples into 7 milliseconds. Goodness. And we had to stitch them together. That's insane, Jeremy. Well, I will tell you what, man. Your sound, your work in the sounds have definitely paid off because, wow, this airplane barely fits on this. It has definitely paid off, man, because it is very, very immersive, and that is huge in anything flight simulation. Let's do all of our checks right now. Again, full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder full left, full right, neutral, auto brakes max, takeoff config check. That goes on, auto. We are in TARA. Flight attendants prepare for takeoff. And we are just waiting for landing traffic here. Coming in over the nose. That's cool. Looks like a GA airplane? Yep. Little GA guy. Landing on 20 right. Now, we got enough space. We gotta wait for one more traffic. My nose is kind of over the line there. Don't tell anybody. This is going to be interesting. He's going to be right on that other guy. That looks like another GA aircraft. Oh, he landed. He did land on Charlie. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this dude just landed. John Wayne traffic, Spirit Wings 1014 will be lining up on 20 white. John Wayne. 20 white. Tongue tied. Alright, here we go. Light it up. Wing lights coming on. Ian Sullivan, I'm doing good, man. How are you, my friend? Internet's getting a little tired, but I'm doing well. Hope you're doing good. Welcome to the stream, my friend. We're on leg 2. I normally don't do 2-leggers, but this flight is so short that you just gotta do it. Alright, so maximum runway and crank it. Yes, I am on VATSIM. Oh, you know what? You just reminded me. I need to fetch from server. There we go. I had to refile my flight plan.
John Wayne ground, generic November 49er 5 Romeo, Mike request taxi to parking.
Alright, here we go.
Generic November 49er 5 Romeo, Mike taxi.
So, I'm going to actually do this one from the cockpit. We're going to nose fill it on the stick. We're going to spool them up 50%. We're static. Brakes release and yoga.
Parking using taxiway hotel, cross runway 2 right hotel, Charlie Kilo Alpha, generic 5 Romeo, Mike.
That's awesome. Okay, here we go. Man, Toga, SRS, runway, auto thrust blue. Not getting any takeoff warnings. That's good. 80 knots, thrust set. V1, rotate. Positive rate. You're up.
Too low, terrain.
Oh, there's our windows.
Terrain.
All the way up.
Terrain.
All the way up. 18 degrees.
Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain.
There we go. There's 860. Thrust reduction. We are coasting now. I am in climb detent, right? I missed it. There we go. Autopilot 1 because I want to see this. So you're just coasting right now till 3,300 feet. Not hearing me on Unicom? Oh, you know what? My comm is not showing the right radio. There's our acceleration. Oh, not quite. Why are we on Moke mode? That's interesting. There we go, nav. Alright, VFE next. So now we're going to go straight to flaps 1, so up 2 steps. Why is my radio not showing? Okay, I had to switch it over. So now I should be on Unicom. Flap 0.
John Wayne traffic 01393 departing 20 direct, John Wayne.
A radio check for Unicom.
5 by 5.
Alright, thanks. So that was weird. So I guess I needed to toggle it in my airplane because in the VATSIM client it showed a different frequency. But we're on it now. Thanks for that. Look at this departure though at night. Turn down the audio a little bit so you're not deaf. Goodbye, SoCal. .8, everything is good. After takeoff checklist is complete. Speed brakes are disarmed. FDs are on. We're thrust climb, open climb nav, so we're at or above 8 for Dolph. We're climbing. We're trying. I am using dev mode, or wait, hey, if you want to using dev flyby-wire or custom flyby-wire, I'm using development mode. So whatever the dev mode is, that's the one I got, man. A little late on the noise abatement. Hopefully we didn't make some rich guy spill his scotch. I was close, man. We were good. We were good. We brought it back. We brought it back at like 960-ish. We were good. One time I took a heavily loaded 320 out of there, and I hit thrust reduction, and I'm just like, I'm going to go about another 100 feet here because this is a little bit gnar. I just made my reduction a little bit slower than I probably should have. But when you're lightly loaded, the airplane, it's pretty incredible what the airplane will do, especially in real life because we're so used to using flex takeoff and, you know, maximum fuel savings, you know, using the high flex numbers, low drag. But when you really demand the maximum performance out of the airplane, it is actually quite impressive what the airplane can do. That's cool. So we got a guy departing, we got Spear Wings departing behind us. There's John Wayne. We are on our way, guys. You're using custom mode. The printer function isn't on dev mode yet. Well, there you go. I must be using the custom mode. That is too cool. Man. All right, let's go ahead and check back up here. We're at a 10,000. Landing taxi lights can come off. Wing lights can come off. Forward calls. And 13.5. Everything is looking good here. Let's just get a quick ATIS check for lost wages. KLAS arrival. Send that sucker. We'll see what's going on there in a minute. Man, I might have to turn the wing light back on. Sin City says, man, did the Tolas 319 rocket out of SNA. So I would love to do this in X-Plane again, just to see the scenery difference. We might have to try this flight again with X-Enviro in X-Plane. I think we're going to have to do it. Oh no, printer's actually in dev. There you go. Yeah, so I didn't do anything special. All I did was download the dev mode on the installer. That's all I did. Did the latest dev. Traffic coming out of LA. Look at the moon lighting. This still blows my mind. For default lighting at night here, you got the moon shining off the wing. It just looks so dang good. Love seeing the traffic. All right, there's 18. We'll go ahead and set standard. And there's our company message. What do we got here? Received messages. ATIS in Las Vegas. 3003 visual. Landing 26 and 19. What are the winds? 090? Really? We're landing 26s still? Alright. We'll do, hopefully we can get the 19er left approach. I don't think we got anybody on. Let's check that's in LA. San Diego ground. Oakland Center. No, we should be alright. 290 on the climb, so that looks good. Now we can sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. God, I hate saying that. It's so cliche. Oh, how about that wing view? Donovan Kelly says, I'll be flying from Pittsburgh to Las Vegas on a Spirit 321. Nice. And then a 320 from Las Vegas to Seattle next week. Awesome stuff, Donovan. If you're a member of the Discord, man, take some photos. Throw them up in the real world aviation. I love seeing guys throwing pictures in there when you're traveling. So it's cool because then I secretly look around. I try to see if anybody was in the same airport when I was flying. Because I'll be flying, let's see, I go back to work on Thursday, so I'll be working Thursday, Friday. And I think I'm supposed to work Saturday, but I think I'm going to change that. And then I'm working next week as well. Alex Mum says, how good is the Neomod now? Here's, you know, after doing one flight in and on the way back, I think that the classification of how INI classified their A300, where they said it is an on-the-line product where, you know, you get in, you go A to B, everything works as it should, and you've got some systems depth that is obviously there, but, you know, compounding failures and things of that nature aren't necessarily implemented. I am totally okay with that. And I think this fly-by-wire mod is on a very fast track to reaching that level of immersion. I mean, as far as the sounds are there. The sounds are awesome. It'll be very telling in the coming updates when they get their fly-by-wire their fly-by-wire modeling or their custom fly-by-wire modeling done. When I can actually see how they are able to manipulate the flight characteristics of this airplane, then I think I'll have a much better opinion. Right now it's still very early. I mean, geez, this sim has only been out for less than a year, guys. So, and to realize where this airplane has come from, they have made significant progress. It's to the point now where I will definitely enjoy flying in FS 2020. Flying this mod, I will 100% enjoy flying this airplane, and I can't do failures in it yet, or I can't do any V1 cuts. I don't know the extent of if subsystems are modeled, like watching hydraulics and everything, but that'll all come, I'm sure, in the future, right? But failures, I don't know if failures will come, but I'm sure things will continue to come out. I think the most important thing that we have to wait for is the flight characteristics. We'll see how the fly-by-wire handling changes things, and then more work on the McDo box. There's still some things that, honestly, tonight it's been pretty, knock on wood, tonight the McDo has been pretty spot on. I haven't noticed anything glaring. I know there's a couple things that still aren't implemented, like being able to put in a airport here in your progress page. Secondary, which if you don't have failures, the secondary isn't huge. It's nice to have, and I was a big advocate of that in X-Plane just because failures were modeled and you didn't have a secondary. Other little things, fixed info pages, new destination, the box, will take time, I'm sure, but as far as just getting in and loading a flight plan from your SimLink or your SimBrief and being able to hop in and fly, it's pretty good. You're not on Pilot Edge flying in the West? I'm not on Pilot Edge right now, man. I believe the last subscription I had was, I think it was only 3 months or whatever it is. Guy says, will you be picking up the 340? Of course, dude. Curious to see how they'll recreate the 4-engine pencil. So, if you've been around the channel, man, you know that's one of my things that I really enjoy doing, especially with that Airbus airframe. I really enjoy the A300 because you get to see the technology go from a narrow-body Airbus, and you see where it came from in the rudimentary A300. So I will be very curious to see what are the similarities in the A340? What are the differences in the A340? I know Airbus did a very good job at maintaining a lot of the same cockpit visuals and switches So I'll be very curious to see about the A340. I'll definitely be picking that up, man. Of course. And Hotshot is back. I just came back to hear you say the sounds are good, so I'm very happy. Hotshot, I'll tell you what, man. You nailed it, dude. The sounds... This airplane without good sounds, I think, would be borderline not enjoyable for me, because sounds are such a huge part, in my opinion. Everybody's opinion is different, but if you have sounds that are damn near realistic, then I can accept certain things not being functional in the airplane to an extent, because the immersion is still there. You know, I can just say, okay, well, maybe this part is in-op, we're flying with an in-op stuff, because in real life you don't fly with ideally you fly with everything working all the time, but there are flights where you have stuff that's inoperative. So, you know, you're probably not going to fly with an in-op secondary or, you know, in-op McDo stuff, but you get what I'm saying. Is the sounds, in my opinion, can really push me over that level of immersion, and where I can enjoy flying a module that is not even complete yet. So, huge shout out to the sound guys, for you and Hotshot for sure. Sin City, welcome to Private Pilot Dude. Glad to have you on board, my friend. ! Welcome. For more information on your perks. Slimkin says, have you seen any recovery in the airline industry starting to take place? My buddy just got a call from PSA with a class date, which was a bit surprising with current situation. Slimkin, yes, I have. I know Frontier is hiring, or is announced hiring. I know there's been multiple regionals that have announced hiring, and I believe, I think there's another low-cost carrier that's starting to hire. But as far as passenger loads, and I can only go off of what just the last week, passenger counts were pretty low, I will admit. I had one flight that was almost full, but there were a lot of flights that were less than 100 people on the airplane still. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure it's going to pick up this year. I think my initial guess is probably summer of 2020. Let's see, we're 2021, of summer 2022. I think that's kind of where I could see everything being somewhat normal again. But that's just my opinion. We are hiring a van full of hippies, so we got to go ahead and start our descent here, guys. Let's go ahead and set. I don't even know what the bottom of the arrival is. I totally forgot. Let's set 9 thou. We need to start down. Thrust idle descent. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make, well, let's see what the airplane does. Nope. Vertical speed 1800. I want to be in manual control. I'm going to go plan mode, and I want to look at something here. Nizen, KPEC. Okay, so that has us coming across. That's good. And then going around to Suvi. At or below 9. Okay. I don't know how this is going to work out, but we're going to give it a shot. Sam AD, welcome to Commercial Pilot, dude. Another member joining the channel. Thank you so much for joining. Again, ! Welcome. If you're new to the channel, you want to know what your perks are. If you're a Discord user, you can sync your Discord or to your YouTube, or your YouTube to your Discord, and you'll be able to get a little bit more. You'll have the V1 After Dark channel, and then the Commercial Pilots. I am in a test program right now with Discord for testing something that I want to be able to upload to. I want to be able to have like the Commercial Pilots. I'm testing something with that, but the Commercial Pilots will actually have their own server as well. So if you're a member, you get the V1 After Dark channel, and you get all the podcasts and everything. And then the Commercial Pilots, this year I really want to emphasize on getting a little extra stuff to the Commercial Pilots on the channel. So I've set up a separate Discord as well. Not a separate Discord, but just a channel within the Discord. Dimitri says the whole failures thing is a lot. I think is a bit overdone. Simmers ask for them, but most simmers wouldn't know an emergency procedure if it hit them in the head. Dimitri, and that is one thing I totally agree with. I mean, you're absolutely right, man. People want to see study level. You have to look back and think, what is study level? Study level to me is something that you actually have to study abnormal procedures, because if something goes wrong, you have to know how to do them. It's not necessarily just get in and fly. Like, I've never flown a 737. I figured it out on Flight Sim. I've never flown a MD-80, but I can figure it out on Flight Sim, right? So I don't classify a study level something that just has everything working. Study level to me, I think people don't even understand what they're asking for that very reason, because I mean, I don't know, I guess you can get FCOMs and stuff for emergency procedures, but you're absolutely right, man. I would rather see extremely high functioning on the line, if I may use that phrase that I and I use, on the line systems. Like, I want to see, when I spool up a number one engine, I want to see that hydraulics on that hydraulics page. I want to see that hydraulic system come to life. I want to see the PTU kick on, and I want to see it pressurize the other system. That's just normal operation, right? I want to spool up that second engine. I want to see that pressurize. I want to see the PTU shut off. So that to me is, if that can all be done correctly, I'm satisfied. Now, there are some people that are going to want an airplane to actually study for other reasons. Like maybe you are getting typed on the airplane. Then, of course, having failures would be nice, because then you can use procedures that, if you're going to be typed on the airplane, you probably already have the material for it. You can practice going through some stuff. You can practice seeing ECAMs, which I've done on this channel, getting ready for check rides. Hey, let's do it in the sim. Get me prepared for the sim, because I have a home sim. So you're totally right. Slam Kid says, failures, seen Miracle on the Hudson, just start the APU. You got it, man. So yeah, everybody's different, but I think the I&I guys really nailed that by saying this is an on-the-line simulator where we are going to do everything that we can to make it realistic in a day-to-day operation A to B. So now, I can also play devil's advocate on this, trying to make sure we're not going to get too high or low here. But for the Airbus, we're going to leave the seatbelt sign on this whole flight. For the Airbus, I can see failures being something that adds extra immersion. Okay, we're not going to fly at 230 knots. I'd be flying an ATR if I wanted to fly 230 knots. Let's go ahead and bump this sucker up. 300 on the speed. If I wanted, or the Airbus is unique in its failures that the ECAM will tell you everything you need to do. So you don't even need, I shouldn't say everything. It will tell you the majority of things that will keep you alive. So if you do the ECAM, you've done all the serious stuff. Now, in real life, you're going to go to your company manuals after you've completed the ECAM, and there'll be some additional stuff and additional notes. And of course, depending on the failure, it's probably important that you get the company pages done as well. But this is, you're going to live and die by the ECAM. So you could play devil's advocate in saying that, hey, an Airbus, if it claims to be study level, it should have failures, because the ECAM will tell you how to go through that procedure. So that's why I think the TOLAS is pretty neat, when you have that flight time to factor, where you just set up, okay, failures are a thing, it could happen, and it'll happen at any random time. So I do enjoy that personally on the TOLAS Airbuses. I do enjoy having that slight possibility something's going to go wrong, like, when we took off out of Cancun and we lost oil. So, there is a time and a place for failures, but I agree. Harvey says, speaking of recovery, I refuse to give up on my airline gig. Good aviator never gives up. You got it, Jeremy. You fly that airplane all the way to the ground, dude. I wish we could get into the Zebo again, because it has some obvious system stuff and it does have failures. We do need to get back in the Zebo. We will. Pete says the most annoying thing about most of the planes, or plane sounds in Microsoft Flight Sim, is they don't have any kind of wind noise you'd hear relating to the plane speed. That is true. There is wind noise is a big factor. This airplane has wind noise, I'll tell you that though. How close is this to real life? Captain Long Haul, visually, it's pretty good. There's, you know, it's pretty good. Real life is, can be relative. I mean, you know, real life I'd be talking to Phantom 320 over here on the right seat, and you know, we'd be talking about going to the hotel tonight, and are we going to go for drinks later and whatnot. So like, real life can be relative, but as far as is the airplane realistic, it's getting there. It definitely is getting there. All right, we're leveling 16,000. Did we ever get our ATIS for Las Vegas? Did I not print it? Let's see. Print you out. It's 3003 on the meter. 3003 is set. We're going to just use manual brakes. Full reverse, flaps full. KLAR, 210 knots, 13,000 feet. We'll keep it at 300 for now. Everything else is looking good. We are going to be on the RNAV 19er left, so we are not going to use our LS push buttons. It is a RNAV visual. So, well, you know what? Is it visual? We may not be able to do it here. Broken at 5,000. That's like 2,000 feet of, well, we'll see. I wanted to do the RNAV visual. I'm going to pull up my charts here. Do you prefer flying Airbus or Boeing? I prefer Airbus just because I fly the Airbus, right? But I do like flying Boeing stuff in the sim. Like, it is fun. Like, flying the 7.2 is a blast. Flying the classic 7.3s is a blast. Alright, let's switch this. I'm just going to go back to here and do it this way. It's quicker. Las Vegas. Approach. I'm actually surprised they have. So this is the 19er left. They don't have the visual. They just have... Aha. Alright, so we're going to change that. We'll change this arrival. We'll do ILS 26 left. Actually, screw it. You guys want to see RNAV, right? Let's just do RNAV. It's already set up. We do ILSs all the time. LNAV minimums is MDA, so we're going to add 50 feet. So 2760 plus 50... That's gonna be 28.10, right? Let's see, next. Yes, 28.10. And we'll redo the weather here, 090 at 6. Temperature, oops. I screwed that up. 090 at 6. Temperature 5. Man, it's cold in Las Vegas. What is going on with you guys over there? Should be warm. 3003. Alright. Config full. VAP 132. RNAV visual. 19er left. Out constraint. 9,000 is set. Let's turn down these PFDs and NDs a little bit here. Oh gosh. Just shut it off. Can I swap them? No. So in real life I'd be able to just hit this PFD ND transfer and I'd be able to put my PFD up on this screen. Are the flight decks as clean as they were towards the start of the pandemic? I'll tell you what, airplanes have not been as clean as they are right now since they left the factory, wherever they came from, whether it was a Boeing airplane or an Airbus airplane. The amount of sanitization that is going on right now between the pilots wiping them down and company requirements for COVID. Like, these airplanes are clean right now. Christopher says, V1 being 41, becoming a commercial pilot and not be stuck in regionals, yes or no? You could do it, man. I know guys that started at 40. I don't know. Are you in the U.S.? I mean, the thing is, it's so hard to say right now. Like before COVID hit, I would say, yeah, man, jump on it now. You'd probably be in the regionals a couple of years, and you'd have an opportunity to move out. I just do not know right now. I don't think anybody knows for sure. So if you're not already pursuing it, in my opinion, it would be a substantial risk to just drop everything and jump into it, just because we don't know the full effects of what COVID is really going to do. But 41, man, that's not that old. I mean, that's not old, dude. Like the average, well, you know, when I was an instructor, the average flight student was mid-30s. But I mean, that was a while ago, and like I said, now with COVID, no one has a really good idea what's going to happen. Hotshot says I skipped back to engine start, and when I said that, when I referenced BSS quality, that's what I needed this evening. You got it, man. I think they are. I think 100% they are, man. Do you get the top of descent marker on the fly-by-wire 320? I flew it today and I didn't see it. Liam, I did not see it. I wasn't paying close attention, but that's why I noticed I was high on the arrival. I did not see it myself. I'm not sure if that's in there. I don't know if VNAV is fully, been tested through. Now, we did that VNAV arrival into John Wayne on our first leg, and it actually flew it pretty darn good. I wasn't really monitoring the altitudes as I should because, we don't have ATC on right now, and we're just kind of chilling out this evening. But it flew the arrival. I don't know if it actually made all the altitudes or not, but I did not see that top of descent marker. Steve, what's up, man? Says, hey, everyone. Just came in from snow blowing the drive. No, dude, I don't envy you at all, man. Welcome aboard, Steve. We're on our approach. Well, we're on the arrival now into Lost Wages, Las Vegas, Nevada. And engines are spooling up. G Slayer says our company makes ultraviolet cleaning devices. There you go, man. There's a couple of them out there. Like the ultraviolet, they go down the aisle and clean the seats and everything. Oh, TOD marker still not implemented. There you go. From the developers himself. .41 is 24 years from hard retirement. I don't get why that's a hard limit. I'm not really talking. Well, there's talk that may move out with medical. It may just be, I think Europe does something a little bit different where if you can keep a medical up to a certain age, you can keep flying. And I've heard rumors of that happening for a while. I'm not 100% sure. Why don't turbofans need to feather their blades during engine failures? Because they windmill, walking dog. So this engine will fail in flight. It'll windmill. That's a good question. And you probably have enough thrust to maintain without it windmilling. That's a good question. Now I'm thinking, I initially said because it'll windmill, but that doesn't really change the effect of drag, does it? Now you got me thinking, walking dog. That's a good question. I would say, you probably have enough thrust on the other engine when you're talking about jets. The whole feathering of a propeller blade typically is because you don't have enough power with the other engine because you're in a light aircraft to maintain that safe flight envelope single engine. So that's actually I changed my answer. I changed my answer from because it windmills to just the sheer amount of power that is available on the other engine in turbofan aircraft. But I'm actually gonna have to look into that. All right, we got ice detected here. Let's go engine and ice 1 and 2 on. And we're at 9,000. Engine mode, select ignition. It wants a full-blown thing here, doesn't it? Alright. Severe ice detected. Well, let's go ahead and turn the wing anti-ice on. Let's take a look. We getting iced up out there? Oh my god. Yeah, we're getting iced up. Thanks for the report. Alright. That is on. We're through 10,000 feet as well, so we can go ahead and light it up. Anti-ice is on. I'm going to turn the weather off because it's little bright for me. Let's turn our terrain on. All right, 13,210 knots. We actually need to slow it back here. Icing up over Vegas. I was just listening to a podcast for the first type 1 diabetic to receive first-class medical from the FAA. Sin City. I know that gentleman. Pietro Marsala. I know him personally. He is a fantastic dude. Fantastic dude. I can't say enough good things about him. I actually knew him before he was diagnosed. If that is indeed who you're talking about. But yeah, he lobbied for that for a long time. Awesome dude. Captain Tom says, holy crap, you're still alive. Just got back from my engine operations class. What, in Train Simulator? Yeah, man, I figured we'd do the return flight. What the heck? I want to see you try coping with total hydraulic loss and flying with differential thrust only, like the United 232. Whew, those we do. So Jeremy, we do that in the sim. So the third day of our sim training, it's EET or enhanced envelope training, and we take the airplane to. It's all pretty much alternate direct law flying. You do extreme upsets, extreme unusual attitudes, and you actually do maneuvering with differential thrust and the rudders. That's it. Sometimes not even with the rudders. So when we'll fly around in mechanical backup in the Airbus. So in mechanical backup, all you have is the THS. Depending on the type of failure you have, you may have one roll spoiler on each wing. If Sec 3 is still operational, but it just depends on the failure. You could be totally without it, and we do both. We fly around with one roll spoiler, then they also kill the roll spoiler, and they give you just differential thrust and THS trim. That's it. You just gotta be very gentle on the controls. Look at that. All right, 9,000 feet, Clark, 210 below, we're good. Yeah, Pedro has one hell of a story. Yes, sir, he does. I partied with him one night, too. Good dude. Yeah, it's been rather cold in the southwest. We got a little snow in Phoenix. Liam, I saw that. A couple of my buddies were sending me pictures. I got a friend that was up snowboarding in Snow Bowl up there. But yeah, I'm surprised it's this cold. Captain Tom says in train sim for plane engines. Okay, I gotcha. Really? All right. So Captain Tom, you are in. So you're an engineer? Are you? What are you studying? Mechanical engineering, or? That's pretty sweet, man. Dynasty 001 says, you ever try to steer a car without power steering? That's how it feels to fly a 7.3 in manual version when hydraulics are out. I can imagine, dude. Jeez. Yeah, without power steering, that's... Man, you're just full on against the aerodynamic forces on it, I would imagine. I don't know the 7.3 systems that well, but it kind of sounds like you're pretty much just stuck with no hydraulic assistance to fight the flow of the air over the control surfaces. You're just one-on-one. All right, there's Clar. I'm a little fast over Clar. I'm trying to keep the speed up. We'll slow it up to at Skiber. Actually, we'll slow it up at K-Pec. How's that? We're not going to hit any mountains, are we? No, we're looking good. Red is not good, and we're awful close to red. You know what, let's go direct Nipso. How's that? I don't want to make that turn over there. Clear it up, clear it up. Yeah, we're going to go direct Nipso because a little bit of red here. I descended early. I left it in vertical speed. I shouldn't. We'd be fine, but let's go to Nipso. And we don't need Ipumi. Will this mess up the box if I clear Ipumi? That looks good. We'll insert that. There's Nipso. Keeps bringing Ipumi back in there. I don't know why. We won't mess with the box too much. As long as we're navving a Nipso, we'll be okay. Are you part of Spirit Virtual? Nope, I'm not part of any virtual airlines, man. Captain Tom, you said your engine ops is part of the flight operations program here at university. Ah, just transferred here this semester to finally start. That's awesome, dude. Well, congrats, Captain Tom.
Las Vegas traffic service 3093. Quebec 6 run. We're going to get locked at visual 1.
Demetra says, if you had this much icing in a real life, would the plane be rattling like a Bunty? Yes, it would probably be rattling. At this point, with this much ice on the top of the wing surface, I think you would start to notice, well, you probably wouldn't notice until you turn the autopilot off, but I would be keeping a close eye on this sucker right here, making sure that trim is not running. So I did a gnarly, I'm trying to turn up the volume for a V-pilot. Las Vegas traffic, Spear Wings 1014. We're about 20 miles south of Nipso. We're cutting the corner. We're going direct to Nipso, and then we're going to join the RNAV visual 19 or left, Las Vegas.
Las Vegas traffic at 8320 inbound, ILS runway 1 left.
I was going to say something. Oh, so I had a pretty gnarly failure in the sim. We did a Cat 3. We're on a Cat 3 autoland, and it was a side stick fault with a go around. So I'm sitting here, we're doing auto land, so I'm essentially at this point auto land, captain is pilot flying, and we get down low. I think it was, I don't remember what altitude we were at, but it was underneath the land green, so we were about 200 feet, and at that point you're both monitoring for either a land light or something to go off, make sure everything stays the same. What happened was we had a manual reversion. It tripped into alternate law right out of the bat. Just went use man pitch trim, and first officer called go around. So I go around and compound that with a side stick fault. So the airplane is trimmed pretty much like it is right now, almost full right on the green. This would be kind of scary if you saw it out of the green here. That's still okay. It's only 2.5 units, but if you're trimmed like this and then you just go ahead and go full Toga power, the airplane pitches up very rapidly. Now, of course, I go to push my stick forward, nothing happens because it was a side stick fault. They were simulating a failed side stick. So the first officer actually had to take control and push the nose down. It was frickin' gnarly. I mean, you imagine being let 200 feet, less than 200 feet, and then you go around, pitch straight up 25 degrees, stall, and you know you're stalling, and you were at 200 feet, and your side stick is not working. That was a gnarly one. Kim Thompson says, can't wait to actually start flying. That's awesome, dude. So, Tom, what type of airplanes would you train in? Like, what's the first airframes? Dougal says, you know Simwings has a VA? Dougal, to be all I didn't know you guys had a VA, man. That's awesome, dude. If I had time for a VA, I probably would. But honestly, I already told my wife to just eat dinner without me because there's not enough hours in a day, guys. There's not enough hours in a day. Waiting for a trains can't fly. You gotta say.
Vegas traffic, A320 short final ILS runway 1 left.
Shouldn't the aircraft compensate for that? For what? So what it went to, it was an alternate law failure with a side stick fault. So went around, Toga thrust, airplane's trimmed for landing, pitches up. In alternate law, the airplane can stall. There's a whole different logic that goes on when you're in alternate law. The Airbus can stall in alternate law, and you know your initial reaction is to lower that AOA, right? Push forward on the stick, nothing. Side stick is dead. So if the first officer doesn't realize it, or whatever the situation, if it happens on the first officer side, then your captain's got to realize it, take control, and use his side stick. Save the VAs for retirement. There you go, man. Fubar says, thanks for doing the 2 legs tonight. Hey, you got it, guys. It's fun. I wanted to get out and do that John Wayne anyway at Takeoff. It was pretty cool. I think it'd be really fun to do this flight in X-Plane 11. All right, we'll go ahead and descend and maintain. Man, there's a lot of traffic here. I'm going to descend and maintain 6,000. We got to make sure we can see. All right, so there's Nipso. We're going to come out here. We're going to turn around and go to Suvi. I might cut the corner early, go to Hamig. Okay, so we should be turning right. This is scaring me here. Why does this say Hamig? I'll let it go a little bit further. If it doesn't turn, I'm going to manually take over. Alright, it's not turning, so this might be part of that issue because we didn't delete all the data. Well, we should have. So we're going to just fly it in heading mode. You have 172 Ps, 172 Rs, a 206G, and 3 diamonds, or DA-42s, that's a diamond, right? We also have 152s, but you have to weigh as little as a feather per school guidelines. Yeah, the 152 is it's gnarly. That's what I first started in, 152. That's awesome, dude, Captain Tom. I'm excited for you, man. I was not aware that you were doing that. I thought you were going to be train sim for life. That's awesome, dude. Congrats. How comfortable is your seat in the real airplane? Do you get sore? Depends on the tail number, man. Some airplanes have good seats, some don't. Just depends on the tail number. But it doesn't matter which one. You'll probably get sore after 3 hours. Starts to get a little bit rough. We're going to see if it will do this arrival. So it's got Hamig up here in check right corner. I'm going to see... Let's see what we do here. We'll make the turn manually. I'm going to slow to 210 knots. We got traffic all around us. I can barely see. Look at the ice on this airplane. How do the Airbus's air bay work in full electrical failure without any physical connection to the wing surfaces, apart from the rudder? So that would be the lowest law you can get into in the Airbus is we call mechanical backup. And in mechanical backup, again, it depends on the reason that you've got the failure that puts you in a mechanical backup. Mechanical backup, you can either be, you only have your THS and you can only use it with a trim wheel, or you may have your THS and one roll spoiler on each wing. It just depends on the type of failure that puts you into mechanical backup. Mechanical backup is not intended to, go out there and fly an approach in. It is literally, mechanical backup is technically, by definition, the absence of all flight control laws in the Airbus. And it is there to help you keep the airplane right side up so you can restore some higher level of automation. But that really starts going into systems. So you get into alternate law by multiple failures of redundant systems. But, I mean, you have normal law, alternate law, direct law, mechanical backup, and unusual attitude law. So you have all kinds of different laws that you will find out in a type rating course. All right, 6,000. We're VFE next. Not really, don't hold in icing conditions, but let's extend flaps 1. We're not holding. Benny, what's up, man? Welcome aboard, dude. We are gonna see if we can do an RNAV approach here. We're gonna come to 010, and then I'm gonna go direct hammock. We'll see if it works from there. So right now the box is sequenced all the way to 19er left. That'll happen sometimes in the actual airplane too, depending on where you get vectored. Sometimes you just have to reload the arrival. Let's see if we can do that. And then I want to go direct to, let's see. Let's see if it'll do it here. Approach mode. Reduce speed to 180 knots. Alright, so we got final lap nav. Let's see if it turns around. Las Vegas traffic, Spirit Wings 1014. We're 8 miles from Ranvi for the RNAV 19er left, Las Vegas. So now it's going to go straight to Ranvi at or above 4,300.
Las Vegas traffic, Guana 1114. We're 3 miles from Ranvi for RNAV 19 right.
She's going to 19er right. All right, so now we're starting to get some crazy drawings here on the ND. We're going to watch it like a hawk. Of course, we're IMC. Dougal, take it easy, man. 3 a.m. Oh my goodness. Get out of here, Dougal. Thanks for stopping by, man. You have a good rest of your night, Dougal. Appreciate you joining the chat, joining the stream, my friend. Get some rest, my friend. Christopher says, is there even a mechanical connection to the side stick to control the surfaces? A mechanical connection to the... no, there is no mechanical connection from the side stick to an aileron or a spoiler or anything like that. Alright, so I believe I have that traffic in front of me. That's him there. Going to Ranvi. We're looking good. 5.8, 180 knots. I'm not going to worry about this. I'm going to go ahead and turn terrain mode off. And we should activate and confirm the approach phase. Final lap nav. Let's see if it joins the final here. Let's see what happens. Now it's turned to rain, so that's a good sign. In real life, it'd melt that snow and ice off the airplane. Alright, there we go. It actually looks like it's joining the final here, so this is actually doing good here. Now, in real life, you'd have a what we call brick and stick. So I have to use the LS push button to bring it up. This is what we call the brick. In real life, you would not use the LS push button.
Reno, making a right hand turn and transition to the RNAV visual 19 right on 6.
19 right. Interesting. Breaking out here a little bit. I know it says at or above 4,300, and in real life you would stay at 4,300. Well, let's see what happens. Sometimes if you're just above it here, it won't actually capture, but this should go to final app. And approach will be stable by 3,100. Okay, so now the brick just jumped up, so we're looking good. Let's see if it captures. Las Vegas traffic, Spirit Wings 1013, or correction, Spirit Wings 1014, Rover Ranvi for RNAV 19er left, Las Vegas.
Las Vegas traffic, Guana 1114 on final for 19 right. Las Vegas traffic.
I'm going to start slowing up. Because the guy in front of me, I know he's going to 19er right. Alright, so this should say final lap. Open climb. We don't want that. Nav app nav. Oh, that's kind of weird. Let's gear down. Let's give me that thump sound. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Love that sound. Love that sound. We can't see anything outside, so we might as well stay inside. VFA next minus 10, flaps 3. Ding the cabin. And VFA next minus 10, flaps full, landing checklist. Cabin crew advised, auto thrust, should say speed mode. ECAM landing all green, so we're going to shut everything off here. Hopefully we'll see the runway momentarily. We can see Vegas. Look at the water effects going over the wings, though. That's so cool.
Las Vegas traffic 1114, vacated runway 19 right.
These guys landing on
Hold
19 right?
turn on runway 19 left.
Okay, cool deal. Las Vegas traffic Spirit Wings 1014. We're 2 mile final, 19er left, Las Vegas. I still can't see anything out front. That's kind of unnerving.
1,000. 100 above. Minimum.
Okay, we'd be going around in real life. We don't got time to go around. Oh my gosh, I can see it now. Okay, autopilot's off. Thrust is mine, flight director's off. Give me the bird.
400.
Look at that.
400.
That was a little unnerving.
300.
I think you I saw that there, Mark. Yeah, I think you're right, Mark.
200.
Ooh.
Las Vegas traffic, station 4, Papa Delta. Clear of the engine runway. We're taxiing between Alpha 6, took off to the gate for Papa Delta.
20. 10. 5.
Spoilers. Whoa. Reverse screen. Manual brakes. I'm having a hard time keeping her on center line. 70 knots. We'll take the next exit here. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Las Vegas. I believe that gentleman was holding there. That's the guy that landed in front of us. That's cool. Yeah, Las Vegas traffic, Spirit Wings 1014. We're clearing 1 on our left, whiskey, going to the gate. Good night, Las Vegas.
Good night. Las Vegas. Yoga.
Yeehaw, Las Vegas!
Lost wages.
Las Vegas traffic 1114, crossing runway 19 left.
All right.
Following the Spirit Wind for the gate.
185? Was that what it was? Awesome.
Las Vegas traffic. Anybody else picking up this heavy IFR almost over, just over the north end of the airport?
Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. We had heavy, moderate ice coming in, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I have
pick
to
up
turn on that
IC2.
DI for
Go on
everyone
alone.
to notice it.
XP72, what's up, man? Nice to see you here, dude. Hope you had a good stream over there, brother. I'm liking this FS 2020, man. We flew into John Wayne on our first leg, and the sunset and lighting was just unbelievable, dude.
3093, turning final, visual 19 right, Las Vegas.
Unbelievable. All right, let's go ahead and shut off the engine anti-ice. Well,
Las Vegas
in
traffic,
real life, we'd still keep it
1114,
on.
Cross runway 19 left.
Let's fire up the APU, though.
Las Vegas traffic.
So we are in visible moisture, and it is 5C, so we got to keep the engine anti-ice on. And we'll probably forget to turn it off before we shut down the engine, so we will get a valve fault, and the next crew will have to deal with that. But I'm going to the hotel. I'm going to be down at the bar after, so I hope to join you guys at the bar after this. Whoa, what in the hell is that? We have a Bonanza? Okay. Is that a Bonanza? No, that's a Mooney. Or is that a Mooney? That's a Mooney. I thought it was a V-tail there for a second. The default airport is so ugly. Yeah, this airport's pretty terrible, man. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna leave my taxi light on because it's so ugly. I want to see the stripe here. Hear that APU spooling up. How was it 3 a.m. already? It was 5 minutes. Flight Sim, I can't believe you're still up, man. I can't believe you're still up, dude. Lights, brakes, and engine 1, engine 2 anti-ice can come off.
And Las Vegas traffic.
That goes
Question
back
for
to
anybody
normal.
flying FS 2020, is the mod for the A320 the stable version already with the printer, or is still the other version?
Yeah, it's stable now.
Las Vegas traffic, Spirit Wings 3093, we're going to sidestep 19 left, 7.5 miles final for
There you go.
Las Vegas.
APU avail. There it is. We're good to go. Engine 2, engine 1. Spool them down. Welcome to Lost Wages. Yes, sir. Chris says one of those newbie ground crews will have burned the skin off his hands. Oh, man. Get Flight Tampa Vegas. It's awesome. I heard that there was a lot of issues with FPS, though, so I didn't have time to properly test it out, so I just went with the default for tonight's stream. But there's a 5% beacon light can come off. Everything can come off. We'll actually go to external power. Pumps can come off. And let's shut this bird down. Let's go ahead and just turn that off. Beacon, seatbelts. We'll disarm those. Oops, I want to turn them on. Turn everything else off. We'll shut it all down. Can we connect the jet bridge?
Las Vegas traffic, Spirit Wings 3093, now on.
Las Vegas ground lamp flight November Kilo Sierra 1014. Could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
That's it, guys. They're connecting the jet bridge. We got traffic landing. There's the strip. One. Yeah, there's the strip. The pyramid's off. V1's brake sounds effects are impeccable. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I work hard on those. We got one guy on final. Looks like he's sidestepping to 1 on our left. We'll watch his landing, and then we'll get out of here. Flight Simmer says, great stream as always. Good night, everyone. A good night, Flight Simmer. Awesome job, guys, with the fly-by-wire mod. Loving the airplane. Loving the airplane for sure. All right, I'm going to park on the 1,000-footers here. Whoever's on final for 1 on our left, I'm watching the 1,000-footers, so don't float.
We'll do our best, 3093.
All right, let's see this guy land, then we're going to get out of here. Since we don't have a replay mode, we might as well watch somebody land. Here's our 1,000-footers. Here is 3093. Let's get down to ground view. We'll lower it here a little bit. Oh, man, he looks high. I think he's going to be high. Oh, man. What? Oh, and then he nailed it. Okay, that was interesting. That was interesting. It looked a borderline extraterrestrial, but that was pretty cool. We still have live traffic. We can't complain with that. All right, guys. I am pretty much going to wrap it up there. Leave the wing lights on just so we can see our airplane a little bit. But thank you all for tuning in tonight on the stream. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys maybe learned a thing or two. We talked a little bit about.
3093 is clear of 19 left. Final call, Las Vegas.
Look good to me, man. So I hope you guys maybe picked up.
Delay on your stream. It was definitely not like that on my screen. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Here we go. LA Center. Oh, they just filed me another one. Oh, nope. We'll go ahead and disconnect from VATSIM. But okay, guys, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me tonight. I don't know if I will be. I will try to do one more stream this week. We will see. No guarantees. Awfully busy. Thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. It's been a late one. Until next time, guys, stay safe.